Okay, thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk right now. We are tracking the top stories so far this week. It is Friday, July 21st, so we are going into the weekend. And so far, we have had an eventful week. So I do want to go through those top stories so far. Taking a look at Monday, let's flash back. Thousands of people were still without power following Friday's severe storm. Evergy brought in crews from several different states, including Nevada, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin, to help restore the power to many homes and businesses.
But there's not a man or woman out there putting on power that doesn't feel the pressure to get power back on as quickly as possible. They talk to people, they see the damage. They, as much as anybody else, want to get restoration done.
And taking a look at the power outage website right now, you can see that number has gone significantly down. We are now sitting at 206 power outages, customers out right now looking at the Evergy website. Now moving on to a different story that we followed this week, starting on Monday. Patrick Mahomes sat down with CBS Nate Burleson to talk about all things football, family, legacy, and adjusting to the spotlight. But this was just a few days after his Netflix premiere in Quarterback. Let's take a listen in to what he said.
I want to start by genuinely asking, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Obviously, the season was amazing. Won the Super Bowl and all that. But being a dad now of two, and getting to enjoy that in the off season, I think that's been the best part. 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, so I'm in the thick of things.
How has being a dad changed your perspective on life and even the game?
You enjoy the moments, and I think now being able to go home and see my daughter and see my son, I have a better understanding of being present and enjoying it. That translates to the football field, and we've been on a heck of a run, but I'm trying to enjoy those moments because I know that it doesn't last forever, even though we want it to.
And if you haven't yet, you can still catch that full interview on our website, kctv5.com. Now, moving on to Tuesday, the top stories there. In a bizarre chain of events on Tuesday, a woman was stabbed in a random attack. Police shot her suspected attacker and then found an elderly man stabbed to death across the street. Now, that female victim, her name is Stephanie, and she is expected to survive after being stabbed in several different areas on her body as she walked home from work. 32-year-old John McGriff of KCK was later identified as the suspect in the stabbing and the homicide. He is being charged with aggravated battery, mistreatment of a dependent adult or elder person, and aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer. The man who he fatally stabbed was the suspect's father. He has been identified as 72-year-old Samuel McGriff, and the KCK PD is still investigating the homicide and the stabbing. Now, later on Tuesday evening, Ford's safety and risk management team received a call from a man who claimed to be armed and barricaded in a bathroom on the second floor. That man claimed to be armed with explosives, a rifle, and a handgun. It turns out it was all a hoax, and soon after, 19-year-old Zachariah Peterson was charged with the Class D felony of making a terroristic threat. The range of punishment is up to 7 years, and Peterson has entered a not guilty plea. He has been booked on a $150,000 bond, and his next hearing is set for July 25th. And also on Tuesday, Patrick Mahomes led the way as the Chiefs quarterbacks, rookies, and selected veterans checked into their dorm at Missouri Western on Tuesday as well. Now, Mahomes touched on why training camp is different for him this time around. Let's take a listen in.
I think that's the biggest thing that's changed for me is just getting away from the kids. I think whenever it was so easy for Brittany to come back and forth and be at every day at camp, whereas now it's going to be a lot tougher with the two babies. And I remember I saw Sterling was like waving at the window today, and I'm like, man, dude, that's tough. It's just she knows what's going on a little bit more, and I think that was kind of the toughest thing. It wasn't to get here, and it's fun here to me, but to have those long stretches where I'm not seeing my daughter and my son, that's definitely the toughest part about it.
Now on Wednesday, the North Kansas City Police Department honored the life and legacy of Officer Daniel Vasquez 1 year after his untimely and unfortunate death. He pulled over a driver for expired tags on July 19th of 2022. Then investigators say that the driver, Joshua Rocha, shot and killed Vasquez and drove away. Rocha's trial is set for September of 2025. And also what happened on Wednesday, I should say. We had breaking Royals news. Daniel Lynch was placed on the 15-day injured list with a left shoulder strain. It's the same injury which cost him the first 2 months of the season. It's unclear at this point how long he might be on the shelf. And right now, I do want to turn over to Thursday, taking a look at the top stories there. Thursday morning, reports came in of an SUV that was submerged in the Missouri River. KCFD dispatched the rescue division with boats and drones. A witness said that the car did not have anyone in it, but the Missouri Highway Patrol sent a dive team there today for further inspection. Now, right now, I do also want to take a look at this story. There was a deadly plane crash in Clay County yesterday. This was the second one of the week, to be exact, and KCTV5's Mark Paulos covered that story. He has more.
A private two-engine plane crashed Thursday morning in Clay County, leaving 79-year-old Alan Doug Moeller, the lone person on board, dead.
We're very sorry for the pilot's family and friends, and we just wish them peace in this time.
The plane struggled to reach altitude right after it took off. As the plane crashed, it hit a transmission line, taking out power for some in the area. It also caught fire with a full tank of gas, which added to the flames.
There were a couple of witnesses who saw that something wasn't right, and that's who contacted us, and they drove out here to this area to see if he had crashed.
Clay County plans to hand the investigation over to the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board to find out why the plane went down.
It was a dual-engine plane, so it wasn't a really small one. We do not know what caused the crash. We're hoping the FAA and NTSB can help us determine that.
And we do want to end on a positive note ahead of Power and Light being packed with red, white, and blue tonight as the U.S. women's soccer team kicks off against Vietnam in the 2023 FIFA World Cup. Marlia Campbell actually caught up with Carly Lloyd on all things World Cup and Kansas City.
Definitely sets a precedent. It's going to be incredible, soccer-specific stadium for the women. We need more of that. I think that in America we have the infrastructure and the space and all of that, but it obviously takes, a lot of funding and a lot of money to be able to get that done. But, it's going to be incredible. And I think, more teams are going to have to follow that suit.
And we are staying on top of the World Cup today. We'll have live coverage at Power and Light tonight. The women's national team plays Vietnam at 8 p.m. and tickets are still available right now for free. So our coverage continues on the streetcar as well today, as it is officially back up and running as of 6 o'clock this morning. And we'll also have more on Panasonic Evergy rates. The Panasonic plant may be leaching so much power that it could cost you more money on your electric bill. So you're all caught up for the week. So be sure to tune in to our newscast starting at 4 p.m. today. As of right now, we are going to end with this beautiful shot overlooking Kansas City right now as we head into the weekend.